So it's 2025, and the cliche, I feel like, is to have a New Year's goal or New Year's goals. Growing up, just to share real quick, my parents encouraged us to have New Year's goals, but we were, kind of encouraged, like, you didn't have to share them. You can keep them private. It's something that you were going to work on throughout the year. And it's almost kind of makes sense because, like, I feel like sometimes if you don't tell someone something, like in terms of like a goal you're trying to get, it like allows you to kind of just focus on that goal.
Is that the reason why they were like, you don't have to share it?
No, I don't know. I think it was more of just like, because it's your own thing. It's your own internal thing.
Yeah. In my family, I don't think we had like a set thing where it was like, you don't have to share whatever. Like, we didn't have a discussion in that way, but I think it was just like, we wouldn't have multiple goals that we shared with each other. It'd just be like, this is what I want to do this year. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just kind of like a passing, like, sentence, a passing comment.
Yeah.
And we never revisited it. Like, of course, it was your own goal. I feel like when I was maybe in my teens, I always was like, okay, this year I'm going to do this. When you have the school year and you have things that you're looking forward to, it's a lot easier to set a goal saying like, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to go to this dance. I'm going to,
and the year is more like project. Blocked out for you too in school.
Yeah.
Like there's more of landmarks or
right.
things that you have summer, you have spring break.
Yeah. And there's
Christmas
usually
break.
Like things to look forward to throughout the year.
And those are like good markers for you to kind of, I think, reevaluate too where you're at with your goal if you want. Being an adult, there's no like landmarks really. I mean, there are, but there aren't.
Yeah.
You just work constantly and whatever else you do in life.
Yeah, it's a lot more free flowing. Nobody's like...
It's endless.
Yeah, it's like this endless thing. So I guess it's almost like you don't necessarily have to have a New Year's goal, but it's nice to kind of set almost like an intention or an idea of something you want to achieve. Like, you don't always have to feel like it's this set in stone thing. It can change and evolve over time.
Before we get to our New Year's goals, let's talk about have you been your goals in the past, your New Year's goals in the past?
Oh, man. I don't know if I remember any of them. Probably like working out, which is still a New Year's goal of mine. I think for me, some of it has just been like related to school, actually. So like when I was in grad school, it was like graduate and get a job. And like after college, it was like graduate and get a job. Or I'm trying to think, what else? I think it's mostly been working out or something related to school.
I feel like that's what society pushes on us too.
Yeah. Yeah, what about you?
For me, it's also been working out or... in terms of like getting out and hiking and being active, not necessarily working out so much. Some years, yes.
Yeah.
And then others have been like learning Spanish, which I've tried for a couple of years in a row, and I've done my trial on it, and I'm moving on.
Oh,
so
I should say, sorry to butt in.
Yeah, go ahead.
One that I remembered as soon as you said learning Spanish was last year. One of my goals was to get into hobbies, which...
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I did do, and I did start to do, which is nice.
You did pottery.
I did pottery. That was my thing.
That was your big hobby.
At the beginning of the year. And then I got into some hobbies I could do at home, like more creative type things.
Yeah. So working out and then Spanish, learning Spanish, and... I think those are the major ones. So this, I'm trying to think. So it's hard to like just put a goal out there and then not have like anything to keep you on track with it. Like I've tried doing like calendars and things like that, but also it's difficult, right?
Yeah. My thought is as I was reflecting on what I want to do this year, or even just in coming years, I thought even what do I want to continue doing? Because I feel like that's more achievable. If you're already doing something prior to the start of the new year, then you can just continue with that.
Or increase it.
Or increase it. Then that makes it more manageable, doable for you. And you don't have to feel like, oh, I have to do this thing every single week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like, just let's take going to the gym, for instance.
Right.
People will say, like, I wanted to go to the gym, like, maybe 5 times a week, which is, like, if you're not going to the gym at all, I mean, that's a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So maybe going to the gym once a week is, like, a good New Year's goal.
Yes.
And then working up from that, right? But
yeah, start small and increase if you want to.
I feel like, you know, setting a high goal like that, and then when you don't achieve it in the first week, you're like, I'm a failure.
I know.
And then you fall off the, you know, the train for that.
Yeah, and then you feel guilt about it, and you fall off, and then you're like, oh, I didn't complete my goal. But you started. I mean, something should be said for that you even started to try. I feel like it's like if we don't hit these markers and we don't do exactly what we say, we feel so bad about ourselves.
Also, it's like you can fail one week, but then the next week you can, you know, start up again and then keep going, right?
Get back into it.
So
yeah,
that was kind of one thing I learned, I think, last year with my goals. Like I was trying Spanish and then I tried a lot of different things with it.
Yeah.
And so what struggles have you run into with your goals?
I think just being consistent. Maybe not being interested in those same goals anymore.
Yeah, a year is a long time.
Yeah, I mean, 12 months is a long time. And I think one thing that can get in the way is like, you know, work or other things that you're doing. If any challenges arise during the year that can make you fall off of your goals.
Yeah.
Or any major events that happen. So I think we all just need to be a little less harsh with ourselves.
Yeah, less judgmental.
Yeah, less judgmental.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, the same goes. Be less harsh and maybe set more attainable goals. And so for my goal this year, I want to try to work out 4 times a week. Which I know I just said 5 times a week is a lot, but I've already been working out 4 times a week.
Yeah.
So I just want to maintain that. I'm not really trying to like push anything in terms of like go from 0 to 4 times a week.
Right.
So my form of workout is cycling. So I have an indoor cycling setup in our apartment, and usually I can hit 4 times a week with it. I'll usually do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to get up to a little bit more. So, and eventually, I don't know if I'm going to set this as a goal this year, but doing the Seattle to Portland race. So that's a 200 plus mile race. And it's not even a race, actually. It's more of just a cycling event. They don't call it a race on purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's in July or June.
Yeah, it's in the summer.
Yeah. So possibly that's tentatively. I got to sign up in the next 2 months or so. And also looking for like the not happier things, but more of focusing on the things I'm grateful for in, everyday life.
Yeah, those are good goals.
Yeah. What about you?
I have a couple goals. So when it comes to working out, because I feel like I always have a workout goal, I have been getting back into reformer Pilates. If you're not familiar with that, it's where you're on this big machine, and it's different than mat Pilates, where you're just kind of on a yoga mat. But basically, this machine has pulleys and levers. You can add weight, or you can use weights while you're on it. And basically, you're lifting and pulling your own body weight. You also can get off the machine and you can just hold it and do lunges or these different things. And I basically have been going to these 50-minute classes at a studio near me that I really enjoy. And so I'm not setting an amount per week. that I want to do it, but I want to be more consistent with it, is what I'm saying.
So like once a week.
Yeah, once a week is like my goal right now. My plan is to take those classes in the morning before I work. Yeah. So we'll see how long that goes.
So you got to get up early, right?
I have to get up early. The classes, well, they have a class like at 5 a.m. and at 6 a.m. So probably do the 6 a.m. class. I've done it the last couple of weeks, actually.
And how long is one class?
50 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that bad. And I've been feeling really good after those classes. They're really fun. The music is good. The instructors come around and they adjust you so that your body is you're using the right muscles and you're also not injuring yourself, which I really like. And I didn't know this, but lately when I've been taking classes, they have a little card that is sitting right under the reformer.
Okay.
And so if you're not okay with being touched, like having the instructor actually come under you and like adjust your back or like move your shoulders or do whatever, because they will come and do that. You can flip it over. And if you're not comfortable with that, they won't adjust you at all. But if you are comfortable with it, it's really great because they can help you get into the movements a little bit better. So I do want to do that.
When you say you feel good after, what do you mean by you feel good?
I just feel like my mood is lifted. And I feel like my body feels better.
Yeah.
Like, after a workout, this from your cycling.
Yeah, that's why I cycle, literally. And when I say I want to cycle 4 times a week, that's more for like mental health, really, than, physical health too, but really for me, it's mental. Yeah, I think for me, it's both. I want to be physically a bit more fit, and I feel like I can achieve that with these classes. 50 minutes feels very doable for me. I don't like going into a gym and not knowing what I'm doing. Yeah, that's tough because there's a ton of equipment there. And we've had gym memberships, and it just doesn't... It's not fun. It's hard, too. It's like, do I work out arms today? Do I do my legs? How many reps should I do? And I don't want to keep looking at Instagram while I'm at the gym trying to figure out, how many reps I'm supposed to do of something or, look up a plan. So I like that they're there, and then every time I'm there, they have us work out something different. So whether we're doing the legs or we're doing arms more of, they'll add weight so that we do the arms. And then you get to do it with other people, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and the classes, the max that you can have in the class is 9 people. Right. So they're pretty small. The instructor tries to focus on every single person, walk back and forth and make sure everybody's doing it correctly. It's also kind of dimly lit, which is nice for the morning. It's very peaceful. The music's kind of low. And the instructors are really positive, all of them that I've had so far. So I want to do that. My other thing, which I feel like is it's multi-layered actually, is to be more intentional with the way that I'm living. And what I mean by that is I want to invest my time in things that are good for me. So whether that is reading more, which we've already started to get into prior to the new year. Yeah, and that's one of my goals as well. Yeah, we've been going to the library and getting books. So doing more reading, not scrolling on my phone as much, which I'm really bad at. I want to be better and not... I feel like when you're reading or when you're doing something that's a bit slower or just listening to music and doing things around, our apartment, the time passes by slower. Yeah, time slows down. Yeah. And so I feel like I have more day left. Yeah. Which is really nice. Or when I've been cooking recently, I feel like I just put on a podcast and I just cook. I'm not looking at a screen really. We've been getting cookbooks. And that's been really fun to cook out of those. From the library. Yeah, from the library. Which it's all free. These are $30 cookbooks or more. Yeah, and it's fun to go and see and pick out whatever books you want. And so that's another piece of it. The part that I like about the cookbooks is that we like Mediterranean type food, and we've been able to find a lot of Mediterranean type cookbooks. And there's also other types as well, which is kind of fun. Yeah. And we don't really eat meat, so it's been nice to find recipes that don't incorporate meat. Yeah. There's a ton out there, so
if you're contemplating, being vegetarian or pescatarian or whatever.
Or just eating less meat.
Yeah, there's options out there if you're willing to try some new recipes. And there are ones with not a lot of ingredients either. I think sometimes when a recipe has a ton of different things you need to buy at the store, it's no fun.
Too.
It gets expensive, and then people can just get overwhelmed by what's there, especially if you don't cook much. So there are things out there, so take a look. And then I want to continue with hobbies. So I mentioned reading, and I want to continue my little creative hobbies that I do, my Sudoku puzzles, cozy things at home. Abe and I got roller skates for Christmas. We both had skates prior. Abe had blades. I had roller skates. But we got new ones, so I want to take those out a bit more.
Yeah, we've taken them out twice so far, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but we were even doing it prior to, getting our new skates, which is nice. So hopefully I can learn some tricks this time. Abe was already spinning.
Yeah.
Last time we went out to the roller rink, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. So those are my general goals. Yeah,
the reading I really like. And the ability to go to the library and pick out different books. Even if I don't read all the books, I don't know, there's something about it's almost kind of like with an Amazon cart type of thing. It satisfies me in that way somewhat of I'm getting these things, but it doesn't cost any money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to return them. So perfect. And I do actually like reading. So it's a lot of fun. And our library also has passes to museums and things like that. And we got actually one of our gifts from family was a museum pass to the Glass Museum.
Yeah, we got a membership, a year-long membership, which is awesome. We already went to the Glass Museum in the last week or so.
And they have different events and stuff there.
Yeah, I'd like to go there more this year.
Yeah, they have a hot shop, which is really cool. So getting out and doing things like that, especially living in an apartment, we're fortunate that we're not in a studio.
Right.
But also, it's not like you're moving around a ton.
Right.
You're either sitting down or cooking in the kitchen, or you have the bed, I guess.
Yeah. I'm excited to get out a bit more and go to events there. And I think also travel is on our list this year.
Yep, we're going to New York in the spring.
Yeah.
For your birthday and my birthday as well.
Yeah.
And that'll be a fun little trip.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because this past year, I don't think we went anywhere that we hadn't been before, right?
No.
Yeah, we went to places we've been before.
Yeah, because we were focusing on the wedding, so we kept it kind of more local and family.
Yeah, and I guess you have been to New York before.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping we get to do some things that you haven't done. Actually, there is a spa there that I'm very excited for. We went to this spa when we were in Italy. It's a different one, but it's in New York. So I think that should be really fun.
Yeah. It's one of the highlights of the trip.
Yeah.
Especially the Museum of
Natural
History Museum. I feel like coming up as the American Natural History Museum, which I have to look at.
Maybe that's the title.
Because I want to make sure that it's not two of them. But anyway, that I could probably spend a whole day at, or multiple. But.
Yeah, and I'm excited to go to the Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. That's been a dream of mine, and to see Times Square and just spend some time there. I've stopped at the airport there.
Yeah.
And then left, to go somewhere else. So it'll be really cool to go there and see things in person. And like I said, hopefully we do a few things that you weren't able to do.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff to do in New York. So we'll find something.
Yeah.
But those are our New Year's goals. Thank you for joining us on Brewed Together. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.